SummerSlam is this Sunday, and so far WWE has announced and confirmed 13 matches for the pay-per-view. The first and newest match that just got announced is the 12-man tag match, which is a rematch from this past SmackDown, which pins American Alpha, the Hype Bros, and the Usos versus Breezango, Ascension, and the Voudevillans. And just like on SmackDown Live, I see the face team going over the heels this Sunday. The second match just got announced for the pre-show is Sami Zayn and Neville taking on the dudleyz. Now I do have Neville and Sami getting the win on Sunday just because the dudleyz have been teasing a breakup for the last couple weeks, and it could very well take place at SummerSlam. Cesaro is going to be taking on Sheamus in the first match in their best of 7 series, which got announced this past Raw by General Manager Mick Foley. I do have Sheamus getting the win over Cesaro on SummerSlam, which is going to be the first match, but I do have Cesaro winning the best of 7 series all together. Now Cesaro has already beat Sheamus twice, so it's going to make him look very, very weak, and it's going to make the whole build up of this best of 7 series kind of lackluster if Cesaro gets another win over Sheamus. Now Sheamus can beat him cleanly, or he can get it through some heel tactics, but we do need to have Sheamus win so you can build up Cesaro in this best of 7 series. One of the bigger unknowns this Sunday is what's going to happen in the 6-women tag team match between Carmella, Naomi, and Becky Lynch taking on the team of Alexa Bliss, Natalya, and Eva Marie. Eva recently got suspended for 30 days and it's effective immediately, so that means she's going to miss SummerSlam. So I don't want to see these ladies just get taken off the card because Eva won't be there. What I'd like to see is Eva Marie's entrance music being played, and the announcer, that funny announcer that he is, say that Eva Marie won't be able to compete tonight because of her wellness violation. It continues her storyline that they've been building up for a while you still have the tag match taking place. Now Nikki Bella recently got cleared by WWE medical staff, so she could very well debut or return or whatever this Sunday and join the team of Alexa Bliss and Natalya, or you can have someone like Emma. And with that, I think that momentum is going to help the heel team carry over and get the win over the face team. Now the one thing that I do want to see is I don't want to see Becky Lynch take that pin. I can see Naomi or Carmella taking the pin on Sunday, but Becky Lynch cannot be the one that takes the loss. Now the next match on the docket is Enzo and Cass taking on the newly formed team of Jeri-KO. Now, what's interesting about this match is that it can go one of two ways. If WWE wants to keep the team of Jericho and Owens together a little bit longer, then Jeri-KO needs to pick up their first win this Sunday against Enzo and Cass, who are a formidable tag team in the WWE. But if this is just a build-up and a blow-off to a potential feud between Owens and Jericho, then by all means give the win to Enzo and Cass, make them look strong while you kick off this new rivalry. So with that said, I do believe the rivalry is going to kick off after SummerSlam, with Enzo and Cass potentially challenging for the tag titles soon after. The final tag team match of the night might be the best, with WWE Tag Team Champions The New Day taking on The Club. Now what's interesting about this match is that Big E won't be involved at all since he has Ringpostitis. Now there's a chance he could show up and help his teammates out, but the chances are very slim to none. So I think the time is right for the Club to go over and walk away as WWE Tag Team Champions this Sunday. Now the New Day won't look too weak, considering they just beat the longest reigning tag team title reign in WWE history, and they weren't at full strength. They have legitimately claimed that they weren't beat 100%, and they will have a rematch at the next pay-per-view for Raw. But as of this Sunday, I have the Club going over, and I think that's the right booking decision all around. From one title match to another, we have The Miz defending his title against Apollo Crews. Now, this match is kind of interesting because I really don't know which way WWE is trying to go with it. Now, they could go with Apollo Crews, an up-and-coming star, getting the title and having the title really established him as a top guy on SmackDown, or you can go with The Miz, who's a proven veteran and is really doing a great work with the title. Either way, you can't really lose in this situation, but honestly, if I'm picking my favorites and giving you my predictions, I have The Miz going over with, some heel Miz tactics. But eventually Apollo will get the title, maybe at Backlash, maybe afterwards, we don't know. But as of this Sunday, as of SummerSlam, Miz is keeping his title. Raw's mid-card title will also be on the line this Sunday. Rusev is going to defend the US title against Roman Reigns. Now, Roman Reigns is booked into a very interesting situation. Following his 30-day wellness policy violation, he dropped from challenging for the WWE title to challenging for the US title. Now, that might be a good thing for Reigns, since it'll help him, get on the good graces with the rest of the WWE fan base. I think it's a good thing. I'm starting to see a lot of fans really turn the page on Reigns and starting to support him a little bit. And Rusev's the right kind of heel to get him that baby face, reaction type of pop. But just because I say that, I don't think he should win. I think Rusev should walk away with the championship on Sunday. And plus, not only that, these guys had a match on Raw and Roman went over clean. Now, if Roman goes over on Rusev again on Sunday, that's going to make Rusev look very, very weak. And I think right now, he's your best champion on Raw. Now, going forward, like I said, Rusev should be the best champion on Raw. He can make a claim to Finn Balor or Seth Rollins, whoever wins. We'll talk about that later. But he can claim that he is better than the Universal Champion. He's the United States Champion. He's the best champion on Raw. Continue to do that. I think that's the way to go. So let's go with Rusev winning on Sunday. I want to see that. Nothing against Roman, but Rusev's kind of hitting his strides right now as a WWE superstar. This next match here has match of the night potential. I am talking about the WWE Women's Championship match between champion Sasha Banks and her challenger Charlotte. Now, Dana Brooks is banned from ringside, which means we're going to have a really good match here. It's going to be a clinic. These two girls are going to tear the house down, and obviously might even show up other matches like AJ Styles, John Cena, both title matches, and maybe even Brock and Randy Orton. Don't put it past these girls to put on a great match and having you saying wow at the end of it. But unfortunately, I do have Sasha Banks going over on Charlotte. I'm sorry for any Charlotte fans, but it looks like we might end up having a Charlotte versus Dana Brooks feud, which could be very interesting. I kind of like the idea of that. Put Dana in a situation where she is being betrayed by her mentor and have Sasha go up against someone like Nia Jax, who's been building up a good winning streak recently. So I got Sasha going over. This right here, AJ Styles versus John Cena, is the match I'm looking forward to the most. And yes, I said Charlotte and Sasha may be able to steal the show, but this is the true main event of the night. Forget Orton, Brock Lesnar, AJ Styles, John Cena are going to put on one hell of a match. Now, as we saw on SmackDown, AJ got put through a table with an attitude adjustment, so that kind of seals it for me. That kind of almost guarantees that AJ is going to walk away with the win on Sunday. Now, the club could always interfere. This may not be a clean win for AJ, but I think that would be a mistake on WWE's part. AJ has to go clean over Cena. He needs to be solidified as one of the top dogs over on SmackDown, and one guy that could possibly be a threat to anyone to take the WWE Championship. So forget whoever walks away with the WWE title. AJ Styles is the top guy on SmackDown. And not only that, John Cena is being reported to be leaving WWE for the next 2 months. Now, he could always show up and still have matches, but he's supposed to be recording season 2 of American Grit, which apparently was a success. I never watched it, but it looks like it was a hit enough for him to return for a second season. Now, AJ needs to get this win, maybe go into a title program at Backlash against Dean Ambrose or Dolph Ziggler, or maybe both in a triple threat match. We don't know, but we do know is AJ's going over on Cena. Speaking of the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, it will be defended by current champion Dean Ambrose. Now, he will take on challenger Dolph Ziggler. And originally, I wasn't too hyped for this match. I was pleasantly surprised when Dolph got the win in that six-pack challenge a couple weeks ago on SmackDown, but I wasn't looking forward to the match at all. I'm kind of over Dean Ambrose at the moment. He hasn't really done too much for me to keep interested in what he's got going on. Don't get me wrong, he's a great worker. He puts on some solid matches, but you know what? I'm just over it. I'm just done. It's the same kind of stuff I've seen from Ambrose for the last couple years, really, since he broke up from the Shield. I haven't seen him take too many strides or change his character too much for me to be invested. Now, Dolph Ziggler has done in 3 weeks what Dean Ambrose, I feel, has failed to do in 3 years, and that is get people emotionally invested in him. At least me, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. With that said, Dolph is probably not going to walk away with the championship on Sunday. He will put on a great performance, look very strong, and look like a credible threat to the title no matter who's champion going forward. Dean Ambrose could walk away with the title, but it don't mean it has to be a clean, decisive win. It could be a very shady victory. He could use maybe a weapon, obstruct the ref's vision, knock out the ref, do something shady that makes you question at the end of the match whether or not Dolph Ziggler was screwed over in that match. I think that would be a perfect way to go. Maybe, the ref misses a count and then Dolph's like, what the fuck is going on? You get me? And then Dean could be like, you know what? You just couldn't get the job done again. I would love to see Dolph Ziggler walk away with the championship. I really, really do, because I think that would be a better match between Dolph and AJ Styles as opposed to AJ Styles and Dean Ambrose for the title. Either way, it will be a great match to watch. And for all you Dean Ambrose fans out there, I'm sure you'll be happy to know that I think he's going to walk away with the title. He's going to retain it and go into a really nice program heading into Backlash. So, Dean Ambrose for the win. This next match here has to be considered a dream match for a lot of folks, including myself. Finn Balor versus Seth Rollins is something a lot of people have been looking forward to ever since Finn debuted back in NXT. I want to say 2 years ago. It's been at least 2. So this match, oh my gosh, there are going to be so many crazy spots. This is going to be the example of the perfect NXT match. It's just going to feel very NXT-ish, if that's even a style or a word. It's not, but you know what? I'm going to go with it. Finn Balor has been made to look very strong. Ever since his debut, he just felt like he owned the room, and everyone there was just there to see him. Now, the last 2 weeks, his booking has been a little questionable on my end. I didn't really like the whole backstage skit they had going on with Finn, discussing the Irish legends and whatnots, and Finn Balor just kind of making him seem like he's some kind of supernatural being, which I didn't like. I just keep him as that one guy who looks really, really cool, and when he has to turn up, he just uses that body paint to go to another level. Last week on Raw, we saw Seth Rollins chasing the Demon King. Oh my gosh, I hate the whole Demon King name. Every time they say Demon King, I just think of Demon Kane, and I'm just not a fan of it. What I'm also not a fan of is the fact that WWE blew its load and just gave away Finn Balor, Demon Balor, on Raw. There was no motivation behind it. Normally, Finn Balor, when he goes Demon Balor, it's because there's some high stake match he needs to win, or just a title match in general. Going for the Universal title would have been a perfect way to introduce the WWE Universe to the Demon, but instead they blew their load again on Raw. Why? They kind of ruined it. They kind of jumped the gun, and for me, it kind of kills the whole Demon entrance on Sunday. But you know what? Because of that, I do think Finn Balor's gonna walk away as your first ever Universal Champion. And you know what? How can I be mad at that? The main reason I do say that the Demon's going over on Sunday is because he has yet to lose a match. Yes, he had that one loss against Samoa Joe at the last takeover in the steel cage match, but that was just once, and Samoa Joe was made to look like he was on another level, and not even the Demon could stop him. And you know what? Seth doesn't have what it takes, at least as this Sunday is concerned. So Finn Balor, he's gonna be your first ever Universal Champion. And finally, we have your main event of the evening. Brock Lesnar, the Beast Incarnate, is going to take on the Viper, Randy Orton. Now, this was the first match announced for SummerSlam, and to be honest, I'm kind of very excited for it. It's been billed as 15 years in the making, even though, come on, no one was really thinking about it too much. But I was very excited. You can ask anyone that knows me. I was very intrigued in Randy Orton versus Brock Lesnar ever since Brock Lesnar defeated Undertaker for the streak. I thought it'd be a perfect kind of matchup for both of them. And when both men are, excited and really into a program that they're in, they put on a great match. Both Randy Orton and Brock Lesnar seem to be into this feud and rivalry. Now, what's interesting is that at first Brock Lesnar was the clear favorite to win this match, but since his 2 doping violations with the UFC, it's kind of been in question. We don't know if he's going to walk away with the win. Right now, it kind of looks 50-50. It could go either way. I mean, there's less of a chance for Orton to win, but, you know, they've been kind of like plugging and forcing it down people's throats that it only takes 1 RKO to win this match. And you know what? That could very much happen at SummerSlam. Now, I do still think that Brock Lesnar walks away with the win, and part of the reason why I say that is I can see a Wyatt interference either during or after the match where it costs Randy Orton his victory. We saw this past week on SmackDown. The Wyatts interrupted Orton's post-match celebration, and when they came back from commercial break, it was shown that they had a stare down at the end of the ramp, and it teased a very interesting feud between both Orton and Wyatt. That would be a great feud that will make both men look good and make Bray Wyatt into a monster heel in the process. Now, for that reason, I have Orton losing with a Bray Wyatt interference and Brock Lesnar capitalizing on that. Who knows? Goldberg could make a surprise appearance, as unlikely as that sounds. But you know what? At the end of the day, it's probably going to be Brock Lesnar having his hands raised, as we see in the clip right there. So you know what? That's it. I'm all done. I've been SCS Vince. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you like this video. I will be bringing in more pay-per-view previews every month, or every single pay-per-view. If we have 2 pay-per-views at a month, I'll be bringing you 2 videos. But I'm done with this video. Like if you know, give me a thumbs up if you liked it. Comment down below if you think I'm wrong. You know, just give me your feedback. Share with all your friends if this is something you like. And I'm out. Stay tuned. Peace.
Do I have everybody's attention now?